every month that goes by is lost savings.
If you recall, we had rates in the sixes, and then all of a sudden they went to seven, 7.25, all over the news. We saw people closing, and a lot of buyers started to jump onto the fence. A lot of them were already on the fence, but now they're really on the fence. And so we started to kind of really share this idea of saying, hey, well, if you purchase a property now, we know in due time interest rates will improve. What if we were to actually give you an incentive for closing a transaction with us, whereas we're, giving you credits or amounts to offset closing costs to help benefit you and get you off the fence to purchase a property now. And that way, at least you can get in. We know home values will continue to appreciate. Even in a market like now, where we're seeing days on market, increasing, and we're seeing home values come down a bit. We're still seeing, if you look at kind of larger scale, appreciation in most of our markets here in California. So we shared that. A lot of folks really want to step on board, and they were fine with that. They're excited. They know they're getting a great property at a great price, and really working with the seller in that capacity. And then we waited for May to come, and everybody had the target date May 10th. If you recall, May 10th of 23. We're all like, rates are going to drop. That's our target date. Barry Habib was saying it. Tim, I think you may have even said it. We're all targeting May 10th, and didn't happen for one reason or another. There's always these extra things that could cause these items to really stall out, right? And we knew that still rates were going to improve in time. So these clients were still on board. I'm still following up with them, still kind of watching the market, giving them updates. And then, of course, August of 24 occurred, and then September. And we started to see rates really drop really quickly. It was essentially overnight. And that's where I, admittedly, and even on this podcast with you, Tim, admit that I messed up. I told my clients, we should have taken advantage of that. We didn't. We're going to be ready next time. This is what we want to do. At the same time, I was introduced to you, Tim, through my company, the Loan Atlas. And so I was learning how you were integrating that strike rate system, where you really kind of coached the product through, where you understood and could share with your clients and really your database that would be irrefutable to not take advantage of that opportunity once it came back. So then I used Barry Habib and MBS Highway. They have a great program, strike rate. Our company has one as well, candidly. However, I really like the ease of use of what MBS Highway has created. So I essentially would then enter in a client on that, their strike rate. I'd manually do it if they weren't already uploaded through the system, as the system tends to upload it already. And it said, okay, this is that strike rate. So when February, March came and we started to see those rates dip real quick, we were ready. We had 17 people, because I was honest with them. I said, hey, look, we should have taken advantage of this in August and in September. We saw a jobs number come out in early October. It really ended that, 10-day blip that we had, if you will, in September really quickly, and rates really kind of went up as we headed into November and everything that took place thereafter. However, when this occurred, it was because of a Treasury Secretary's announcement over the weekend. The new Treasury Secretary that we have in office today, it mentioned, this is kind of what they're keeping eyes on. Of course, the market reaction based off of headlines. We're seeing a lot of market reactions off of headlines. Rates dropped really quickly. We started to see that 10-year Treasury head back to the 4% range, breaking what we were calling the floor then of 4.12. As it continued to improve, we got 17 files ready. We actually had more. We're just waiting, to get the okay to run, credit checks, because we don't want to run a credit check without authorization. We locked in 17 of them. Each one of those clients were incredibly excited, stoked, because their savings was substantial. To those that didn't get us their stuff or okay us to do so, they're kind of kicking themselves. But again, we're watching things closely. Even a week or so after that, I was actually at a beach house in Oxford, Tim, and we were out there surfing with my kids. And I remember barbecuing at this house and, cooking for my family and watching futures on my phone. And I think I even put something in the Loan Atlas community about it. Is anybody else watching futures right now? Because we saw literally one night where it was Sunday night, the 10-year Treasury hit 3.86 or 3.85. Like, we know if it hits below that 4% on the 10-year Treasury, we could kind of get a sense of what mortgage-backed securities would do. There'd be more opportunity there. So then again, I was telling my assistant, hey, get ready for tomorrow morning. I was kind of prepping him, make sure we got these other folks that we could have got in, this other 20 or 30 applicants that really wanted to take advantage of this opportunity on board. Unfortunately, the next morning we woke up, and even though we had 3.85, 3.86 on our 10-year treasury, went back to 4.3 literally within a few hours. So there wasn't much of an opportunity, but now we're still watching things very closely within the last week or so, keeping people up to date. I did do, as Tim, you had mentioned, the call, the voicemail, the text message to each one of our clients on Thursday and Friday saying, we're watching things incredibly closely. And if that opportunity comes up, we know that you're ready. We're ready. We're going to take advantage of that for you. So I guess to kind of wrap up a recap, it was simply just telling folks, let's get you started. And to those that I haven't spoken to in a while, apologizing and being candid and say, hey, I'm so sorry. I haven't been that great about following up and keeping in touch with you. This is what we're looking at. Being candid, transparent. I think they appreciate the candor in that. Actually builds rapport, I think. And then turning around, saying, this is what we're watching for you. This is your strike rate. Even sending an email with a snippet in the body of the email of the strike rate from MBS Highway so they can see what we're looking at for them so they know when we get there, we're going to take advantage of that. And candidly, to those listening, and Tim, I'm not sure if this is going to go up by then, but we have the 4th of July, and I love what you do on the 4th of July. It's another thing that you had done, Tim, that I steal is reaching out to, our past clients and referral partners, what have you, before the 4th of July holiday. And of course, just sharing that for those that qualify at that time as well. So, hey, just, we're watching this. Even this week, we're keeping an eye on things because if there's that opportunity, we're not going to let you miss it. We want to make sure that you take advantage of it.
Let me break all this down. That was beautifully articulated. And I'm going to ask you a question at the end of this, but I want to synthesize, summarize for the listener a few things that I heard you say that I think are really important.
Please.
Number one, you said that there was a period of time in August and September of the previous year in 2024, with those windows of opportunity, which can open and shut very quickly. You weren't quite ready for it.
Right.
A common theme. I mean, that's something that a lot of people experience. And I think that the mistake that's made, Michael, is that loan originators have a belief that the time to call their client and tell them that it's a good opportunity to refi is when the rate drops. That's wrong. The time to call your client and talk to them about refinance potential opportunities is before rates drop. To have that conversation when you have the time to have that conversation, to educate them very thoroughly, because if you wait until after rates drop, not only are you going to be short on time and you're not going to be able to have depthful educational conversations with them, but you're also going to be competing against the servicer and other marketers that are marketing to them to refinance their home. So the preparation takes place now, and you simply say, look, I don't know when they're going to drop, but I do know that they will drop because rates are cyclical in nature, and there will be a point in time where this issue of inflation is tempered, where the economy starts to slow down, and we see a rally in the trading of mortgage-backed securities, and the time to isolate what the rate needs to be in order for us to take advantage of it, for it to make irrefutable sense for you to move forward with the new loan is now. Let's come to that agreement now. So if you're on vacation, if you're busy, I can jump on that window of opportunity. And it's incumbent upon you, not just you, but all of the listeners, to tell the story that you experienced in February, which is you had people in February eligible to be refinanced beyond those 17 people that for whatever reason, they decided not to move forward with it. Okay, maybe they thought they were going to come down further, or they were too busy or whatever. It's incredibly important that you tell that story now about your experiences of, I have 7 people, 9 people, 11 people, whatever it is that opted to not move forward in February, September, or August, going all the way back to 2024. And every month that goes by is lost savings, and it accrues and it accumulates. And I don't want that to happen to you. I want to make sure that we jump on the opportunity as soon as it becomes available and get you locked in and reapproved right away and start saving you money as quickly as possible, because sometimes these opportunities are fleeting.